What is up guys? It's a lot later than I anticipated, but here I am with yet another one of the shoe reviews. Now yeah, firstly I would just like to apologise for the lack of activity in videos and everything. I've recently been up to my neck in dissertation, trying to get that finished and submitted. That's all done now. And I'm just going to take the opportunity actually to say a huge thank you to everyone who participated in my study. Freestylers, non-freestylers, huge thank you, much appreciated. And now let's get on with the shoe review, and today we are back with one of the big boys, Nike. We are going to be looking at, well, bam, the Nike Elastico Finale 3. Now, and it is no secret that in the past I have been a big fan of the Nike Elasticos. Ever since I saw Tom Folan's review on the Elastico Finale 2s, this really influenced me to go out and get a pair, and I have not looked back since. I've always regarded the Finale 2s and Elasticos in general to be very good shoes for freestyle. Now when it comes to freestyling with the Elasticos, I think there's a lot of things that freestylers nowadays will assume are just a given. There are things that we will come to expect from the Elasticos in terms of their features and how they're going to perform. But the question I really wanted to look at today is, has there actually been any real improvements on the Finale 2 model? Especially when we consider that the Nike Elasticos are a much more expensive option of a freestyle shoe if we were to compare them to the likes of some of the Puma shoes. So let's get into it. The Finale 3s have been out a while now. When they first came out, they weren't available in many good colorways at all. I'm still not even too impressed with the Blue Lagoon and black, but they were about £100 when they first came out, and now they dropped down to about £60. I must admit I was incredibly skeptical about these shoes and if they would be better than the Finale 2s in any way, shape or form, especially as Nike's logic nowadays is simply just to take a shoe and stick a sock on it. To be brutally honest, I'm not a fan of the design of these shoes at all. I much prefer the more simplistic design of the Finale 2s, but there's a few things for me that I just don't like. I don't like the swoosh on the front. It's like it's trying to be Nike Mercurials or something. We have these very wafer thin laces. All of this sort of change in its appearance and everything, it actually still weighs in at a very similar weight to the Finale 2s, which was something I was hoping that maybe the shoe would be a bit lighter for freestyle. That'd be great, but that hasn't been the case. Okay, so firstly, one of the biggest differences about the Finale 3s from the Finale 2s is the way that the shoe fits on your foot. Where the Finale 2s had a very typical design of having the shoe tongue underneath the laces, and if you tighten the laces, you're bringing these two bits closer together, which not only does it give you a closer feeling on the front of the foot, but it also tightens the back bit around your ankle as well. The Finale 3's design to fit around the foot is entirely different. It's a much more modern design where the material around the outside is just one whole material. It's designed so that your foot can just slip into it with ease, but there's no shoe tongue. So when you're doing up the laces, actually all it's doing is bringing the front of the shoe closer to your foot. Whereas the ankle, you're still left with quite a large amount of space on the side of your ankles. So much that at first I thought I had been an absolute twonk and ordered these in the wrong size. So one thing that the Finale 3s have kept from the Finale 2s is this lovely Nike skin material. And the Nike skin essentially is a synthetic material that also aims to be as breathable as possible. It's kind of got a similar kind of pattern and feel to the texture of like some of the match balls that freestylers use, and this makes for good quality in terms of grip and touch on a football, which I will talk about later in the performance aspect. Another reason that I urgently wanted to get a hold of the Finale 3s and try them out was because, unfortunately, just to bring you up to speed, Nike have announced that they will be discontinuing the FC 24/7 range. What does that mean? Well, it means no more Lunagattos, no more Bombers, and No more Elasticos. But fear not, because I'm pretty sure Nike will just be replacing them with a very similar design of a shoe in the not too distant future. We're already starting to see tests of the Magista X, Mercurial X. I think those are going to be the sort of shoes that are going to sort of replace Elasticos. But of course, with all this being said, are they actually any good for freestyle? Well, my honest answer is hell yeah they are. Now, while they may not weigh in as light as some things such as the Puma Archive lights and Glide lights and stuff, this shoe is just unbelievable for lowers. I don't know, like the shape, like this is going to be quite a petty thing, but because the shoe is so like flat and pointed towards the front of the foot, I feel like that just gives you like a new edge of sharpness in trying to like make clean revolutions around the ball and stuff, as opposed to like a chunkier shaped Puma shoe. They're very much typical of other Elastico shoes. I've been using the Puma Archive lights for a while now, and I must admit the first thing I immediately noticed was the nice skin and the grippy raw touch that you can get with the ball from Nike Elasticos was just absolutely refreshing. Because you can get such good grip on the ball, I feel like doing non-alternate tricks in these shoes, you can generate some crazy height. I don't really think there's any aspect to lowers that these shoes are bad for. Now for blocks, I've found these shoes to be decent. In fact, actually, I think this is where having a shoe that is made up of one whole material on the outside kind of comes in handy. Because it means that down the front of the shoe, it isn't so rigid and fixed, and you can press your foot up against the ball a lot firmer when doing blocks. But yeah, they're good for blocks as well. Now, if there was one improvement that I was really praying for with the Finale 3s, it would be something about the sole. I was just hoping that A, it would be more durable, and B, somehow sole variation tricks would be possible on them. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure if either of those actually has proved true. Will it actually last longer? I doubt it will. I doubt that these will last any longer than the Finale 2s. And in terms of sole stall stuff, well, yeah, it was a little bit better, but I mean, once the ball moves into this middle bit here, where there's just like no surface area at all, you're kind of in deep trouble. So I would still say that sole variation stuff is very difficult in Elasticos. Sits as well, I am pleasantly surprised by these shoes. Although as you can see, the Finale 2 and Finale 3 are both very similar in terms of shape, I feel that on the front of the foot, the slant is a little bit harsher on the Finale 2s, and therefore I think you had a worse toe laces juggle problem when doing sits. I think the Finale 3 combats that a little bit better with the shape of the front of the foot on this shoe. For uppers, these shoes are mind-blowing in the fact that they are the same as every other shoe. Now, one thing that I thought that Elasticos were quite notorious for is they're not the easiest shoe to get used to. They really do take quite a bit of like wearing down, breaking in before they feel like natural, or you don't even realise that you're wearing them, if that makes sense. And with these, it was no different. Typically with Elasticos before, it has taken me sort of 3 sessions minimum to get used to them. And with these, it was exactly the same, sort of that 3 days of like hell where you just can't even juggle to save your life. But with these, I decided also to take a slightly different approach. I decided to go and play football in them to sort of rough them up a bit and hopefully try and break into them a bit quicker, and I think that kind of helped actually. So overall, in conclusion, in answer to my question, while there has been a considerable amount of changes in design and tweaks, I question overall if there's actually any real improvements with the shoe. And I say that because the Finale 3s seem to perform just as good as the Finale 2s, and any improvements that you think that are in the Finale 3s are likely to come down to personal preference in terms of comfort and how they feel on the foot. I think some will say that the Finale 2s are more comfy. I think some will say that the Finale 3s are more comfy. But in terms of like justifying how much more expensive the Finale 3s were when these first came out, and still to this point now, I think the Finale 2s, performance-wise in freestyle, will do just as good a job. But are they a shoe worth buying? Yeah, they probably are. Give it the old shoes up. Would recommend. Still say that the Elasticos just have a feel to them that no other shoe can replicate. Not even Pumas that are even lighter than the Elastico Finales. I just think that this shoe, especially in a lower sense, gives you something that is very unique. And if these really are to be the last that we'll see of the Elastico shoes, I think they've done a pretty good job with these ones. Guess you could say they have been the grand finale. So yeah, that is all from me. Like, comment and subscribe. And of course, I am just one man's opinion. Don't take my word for gospel. Anyone else who has tried the Finale 3s or thinks otherly or whatever, let me know in the comments. Let me know what videos you guys want to see from me as well. But until then, thanks for watching. Peace.